Hairy Movie Club, it's me Jenny, and this week's movie was Shaun of the Dead, which is a British classic, and I feel very English whenever I watch it because it's amazing. That being said, the first time I watched it I was so terrified I couldn't sleep that night, and then when I tried to watch the behind the scenes to desensitise myself, my parents walked in on me and told me that I had to stop watching it and return it to the library. So I had nightmares for weeks. It was during the time when I was still scared of Buffy and Lord of the Rings, so I was very, very unexposed to horror and zombie culture in general. So this was really not my cup of tea the first time I watched it, but a couple of years later I watched it and then I realised that it was meant to be funny, and it was funny. I really like so much that is said in this film. Now that I've been more exposed to zombie culture and get a lot more of the references, I get the, you know, mirror move, jump scare and all of the zombie kind of culture things that come in. I really love the fact that it defies a lot of zombie tropes in that it never tells you, it hints but never actually explains what causes the zombies. I love that it brings in the parents, and so often in horror or apocalyptic films they focus in on this generation of usually college age people, or you know, just young healthy adults sort of people, and they never focus. Occasionally they'll have children, but they never, or very, very rarely, have the older generation. And it feels very real to life that if you were in a situation like this and you could get to a family member, if they were the older generation, you would go to them and you would help them. And of course there's a lot of humour involved around that, because in this case she's not really aware of what's going on. But, and it ends of course very tragically, and that's very close to the heart, I think. I think everyone can be affected by what happens towards the end of this film. And it's very kind of true to life that you would go for this sort of scenario and hope that it will all work out in the end. So I really enjoyed that. I love the foreshadowing. There's, I think Ed's character says the entire plot of what's going to happen. I think in the first 15 minutes or something he just reels off, and then we'll go for a drink at the... yeah, he just reels it all off and it's beautiful. So I like all of those parts. The way that the characters are made and like built in this world is very well done. The casting is exceptional. Bill Nye does an amazing job. The chemistry between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost is just so well done, and even though there's a romance plot with Shaun, I think the relationship between Ed and Shaun is a lot more empathetic and enjoyable and interesting, and that's really the heart of this particular film. And I like the way that this has been cast, where they're average people, you know, they're relatively good looking, but you wouldn't gawp at them on the street. And so it feels very grounded, very human. They're not immensely successful, very mature, got-it-all set adults. And the fact that it follows the stereotype of, I'm having problems in my life, what do I need? An apocalypse sort of plotline works so well, because it's just a guy who is so oblivious to what's going on in the world because he's so wrapped up in his own life, and that's just perfectly personified by the single one take where they Steadicam shot where he walks the off license back, and then it mimics it the next day, and it's a spot the difference. Also, I love the fact that there's lots of red throughout this in terms of colour themes. Obviously there's the red tie, there's the you've got red on you ink stain, there's always something red in the background I noticed, or blood. And the cornetto thing, obviously, so you always get an idea of what's going on and what's going to happen. Same with the foreshadowing. I think Edgar Wright does an amazing job in this. He has such a taste for getting the irony of non-action sequences, where it's I'm brushing my teeth but we're going to do it in the most fantastically action way, and hyping up the sound effects and hyping up the visuals and fast editing, so it feels really dramatic and yet you know it's not. And it's the most mundane things. Similarly, the music direction in this is so well done. The Shaun of the Dead theme, the doo, I'm not going to sing it. One takes, here we go. And the Kill the Queen sequence is just brilliant. The Kill the Queen sequence is probably one of the best choreographed, kind of not great but great fight sequences of all time, and I'd say it's probably one of the most iconic zombie film fight sequences of all time. It's just so well edited. They had the music playing during that sequence so they could all do it in time. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. As a final point, I've got to give huge chops to the people who did prosthetics, who did makeup. Mary's kind of gut thing was amazing. The intestines going everywhere. The reason why I was scared was because they were so good, and the reason why you can really fall in love with these characters is because despite the fact that perhaps their internal turmoil is rather mediocre, it's, you know, can I sort out my relationship with my girlfriend, can I, you know, still work in this place that's not a particularly great job, can I deal with my friend, I need to hang out with my mum, the external danger is still very, very prominent, and I think that's what makes it such a great film, that it's got this really good juxtaposition between a very mundane reality and a really hyped up film reality smushed together. And again, it's personified by the sequence where it's got the heroes and our heroes and the other better action film heroes crossing paths. And I thought that was brilliant. So look out for all the Easter eggs. There's so many clever visual puns, there's so many extra information in this, and there is a reason why there's 4 commentaries, and I've watched all the behind the scenes many times. Anyway, that's about it. I'm sorry I've rambled on so long. If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Jenny. Nice to meet you. Feel free to comment down below. I try and reply to as many comments as possible. Follow the hashtag for other Hairy Movie Club thingies. Thank you, Alan, for the pick. I'm coming up to 300 subscribers. I don't know how, but thank you very much. That's completely amazing. Thank you so much. I am planning on doing some sort of challenge for my 300 subscribers, so feel free to comment down below and tell me what you want me to do. I'm willing to take suggestions, although I will, you know, choose which one I want to do, and that's about it. I will hopefully see you guys next week. Bye guys.